This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbalm82, and today I'll be doing a review of the 1000 Toys Hellboy. Now, taking a look at the front of the box, we can see an image of the figure, and at the bottom, the 1000 Toys logo. Turning the box around, we can see some really cool Mike Mignola artwork from the comic books. And removing the lid, we can see that the figure is showcased in your window box packaging, surrounded by his multiple accessories and the Hellboy name at the bottom. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is Hellboy out of the box. And man, this is one quality action figure. 1000 Toys does do some really good work, and this Hellboy is one impressive piece. I think they nailed it. He is way better than I originally thought he was going to be, and I am so happy to add him to the shelf. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at his accessories. So Hellboy does come with a decent amount of accessories. Starting off, he comes with 2 interchangeable head sculpts, 4 interchangeable left hands, the Good Samaritan pistol, and a holster for the pistol. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at the 1000 Toys Hellboy. Alright guys, so let's take a closer look at Hellboy. Now this is pretty rad, man, I will say that. I know there was a lot of hype about this figure when it was being shown with like early prototype images and things like that. And I'll be honest, I like it way more than I thought I would. I wasn't super stoked on this, but I was still excited for a really good Hellboy figure. And I will say that they totally delivered with this piece. I think he looks great. So we're going to start off some head sculpts here. So we do got the standard head sculpt like so. I think it looks incredible. The yellow of the eyes looks amazing. They just really captured the look of like the comic books with the shape of the jaw and things like that. Looks so good. We also have one with the gritting teeth. I think that looks really nice too. That's probably my favorite one. And the one I'll be displaying him with just looks really nice. And if we turn him to the side there, you know, we can see those lamb chop sideburns and a little ponytail, a little man bun in the back. I think it looks awesome, dude. Just really cool. You will just interchange them like so. They are on a little peg that you see inside there. If I get my camera to actually focus, you can see that in there, it just pegs on with the socket like so, and that's how that works. You will also have to interchange the horns. So they're a little tricky, but you can see they're in a little L-shaped peg like so, and they are shaped a specific way, so you can get those on like that. So when you do switch out the heads, you know, they don't both come with horns. You have to interchange the horns to the other head. Now, the exclusive version that you had to buy directly from them will have the longer horns, which is really cool. I kind of wish I had got that one instead. I really do like the longer horns, but this is still very awesome. Everything about this just looks great, dude. I want to start off with the coat first. I think the coat looks awesome. It is a soft goods coat, really nice and big, really well done. I love the color they used here. They have this like pleather-like material for the collar, which is really nice. We got that little patch like that. It's an actual patch. That's pretty crazy. The detail is just insane. That's an actual little mini patch. That's really cool. The lining looks really nice. It is noted that in the collar and along the seam line here of the coat, there is a bendy wire in there, so you can pose it around and get some like windswept poses and things like that, and it will hold pretty good, so that's really nice. I do notice some like loose strings, like that. You'll see that throughout the figure. Sometimes those will come loose, little threads, and they might fall off as you're posing them around, so just be careful with it. I have noticed that you can see them really in there like so. So anyways, that fist, that is what I want to talk about a lot, because that thing is gnarly. Looks really good. I love the paint, the little cracks and scratches and indents and things like that. All that looks really cool. I know some people aren't too big on the way the fingers look. You know how they look, they're really segmented and kind of flat and squared, almost like Lego pieces or something like that. It's a little awkward. You know I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm not necessarily against it. It doesn't really bother me as much as it does some people. It still looks really good and it functions very, very well. Coming to the belt here, I love the belt. So you get my camera to focus on that. So we got his lucky horseshoe right there. You got this big beefy holster that kind of just opens up from the top like that, and you can store the gun in there. It just pegs into a little ball peg to the actual belt. We got some really nice pouches along the back like so. The tail, it does come separately. You have to plug it on a ball peg and it will wrap around there very nice. Then we got this really cool little crucifix, little cross like that with an actual little metal ball chain, and you can actually detach that. You can see the little clasp right there, so you could really take that off and put it around his neck if you really wanted to do so. So that's really nice too. Nice shorts, nice legs. I love all the little indents and scratches that you see throughout the figure, because this whole thing does have a black wash all throughout the red and whatnot. The feet look really nice. His nice small little hooves, you know, that's super comic booky. I think that's awesome. I kind of wish they had put like black pegs in the ankles so the red doesn't show too much. It's a little bit of a nitpick, but it doesn't bother me too much. The tail looks really nice. The tail is not on a bendy wire. I kind of wish it was. I kind of thought it was too, so I'm not sure. But it is a nice soft pliable plastic or like a rubbery material, so it is kind of move around a little bit, but it won't really hold any poses, with the exception of the upper ball peg like so. The rest of the skin looks awesome. I love the red of the chest. You can kind of see the little bit of a black wash in there to give it some depth, but all the scratches and nicks look really good, dude. Even throughout the arm right here, it just looks so nice. I love that a ton. Just looks really, really good. Yeah, I love that, man. Okay, so we does come with some interchangeable hands. So we do got the trigger finger hand. That's the one I'll be using the most. It looks really, really good. And you can hold the gun like so. And I love I've always loved that gun. Just something about it just being so ridiculously big with that huge barrel is just nuts. And I think they did a great job with that. Gunmetal color, brown for the handle, looks really, really good. We also do get a standard close-fisted hand. That looks really nice too. You can even see some of the black wash in there, so that's really nice. We also do get a more open palm hand. You can see that like so. A little more relaxed, you know, but I look at even the scratches and the nicks on the back of that look really, really good. And one that's even a little more open palm, that looks really nice too. And with more flared out fingers, just looks really, really good. Now, these are on ball pegs at the wrist right here. I get a little scared because it's a little tight on there. When you're trying to pull it off and put it back on, it's a little tricky, and I worry that we might split the peg here, so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And you can do it, but just be very, very careful when you're switching out the hands, because it can be, again, a little tricky, and I get a little scared about, you know, messing up that peg. So again, just something to, you know, just keep notice of, because it could be an issue in the future. But overall, just a really freaking cool figure, and super, super happy with it. Okay, so I figured out how to remove the coat. So what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna actually have to remove the arms. So you can actually just pop them out of the ball sockets like so, like that. You could do that for both sides, and you can remove the jacket like that. Then it's a little tricky popping them back into place, because you kind of have to get them into that more rubbery type of plastic, and then work it back on like that. And then there you go, and his horn popped off. So let's get that back on right there. But yeah, so that is the option. You just have to pop these arms off of the actual shoulder sockets, and you can just slide the coat off like so. So if you don't want to display him with the coat on, you have the option to do so. And I love that the shoulders and all that even look pretty streamlined. Again, with this softer material over the endoskeleton, it actually really hides the joints really well. So I think that's really awesome. Alright, so I want to run down the articulation because it's pretty impressive. So the neck is on a ball joint, does roll around like so, does turn left and right, up about that far, down about that much and pivot side to side. Now, this whole arm piece up here is a softer, more pliable plastic, almost like a rubber type material, and so is the upper torso right here. So it's almost like they have an inner frame for the articulation that's underneath all this stuff, so you can see how rubbery and pliable that is. If you know what like Gundam model kits are and you're used to the inner frames, you'll know exactly what I talk about. So all this more softer material hides the actual articulation joints, which is really nice. So the arms go all the way up like so and down out about that far. There's like a butterfly joint that goes in and out like so that's really nice. Then we can rotate at that shoulder. You get a double jointed elbow that works really good. Rotation at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. There is a double ball peg inside the midsection right here that goes into the crotch and into his upper chest. So that rolls around like so, pivot side to side, crunches forward about that far. You can probably get a little more if you really want to, but that's really good. Same thing, you can go back and you can kind of see the inner workings in there, so that's really interesting. So that works really good, and then swivel left and right. This arm kind of works the same. We get a single joint right here at that little elbow ball, so you can bend that in like so. But then there's also a hinge right here in that forearm piece, and you can kind of see how that bends in there. You can see that like there, so that's really cool. So it actually does get a double jointed elbow out of that, which is really cool and very innovative. The wrist itself is on a ball peg, so that rolls around like so, does turn left and right. The fingers are individually articulated, so that's really good. You got the little dumbbell right there, so that moves around, swivels, and again, pretty much bend at almost every knuckle, which is really freaking good. And yep, I am loving this way more and more as I play with it. So we got hip joints that kick forward and up that far, back about that much. Do the splits about that far. A little bit of a rotation in the upper thigh. Nothing at the shorts. I kind of thought there was something in there, but no. We got a double jointed knee that works very nice. Rotation at the boot. Ankle joints that go all the way up, down like that, and down like that. No real swivel, but we do get a really nice ankle rocker. Then the tail itself is on a ball peg, so that can roll all the way around and move around a little bit. And I really wish that was on a bendy wire too. That'd be really cool. So overall, the articulation is amazing. I am having way more fun with this guy than I really thought I would. I knew it was going to be a good figure. I just wasn't really expecting it to be a great figure. And honestly, in my opinion, it really is a great figure. And definitely one of the best Hellboy figures you can possibly get. So if you can find him, I know he's selling out everywhere very fast. So I definitely recommend him because he is absolutely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for even more 1/12 scale comparison, here he is standing next to a Revoltech Gambit and Mezco 1/12 Collective Batman figures. And just for fun, here he is standing next to a little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the 1000 Toys Hellboy action figure. Now overall, I think this is a really cool piece, and 1000 Toys does some quality work, and this Hellboy definitely proves that. The soft goods coat is very well done, and I'm super stoked that it has a bendy wire. His accessories are very impressive, his paint apps and sculpt are gorgeous. His articulation is mind-blowingly good, and I am super happy with the outcome of this entire piece. If you love Hellboy, then this 1000 Toys action figure is definitely one to get. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.